Hey guys and girls, and welcome to Avoiding Pitfalls Lesson 11. In this lesson, you're going to create a sound palette. Now, many of my students find this to be an incredibly powerful lesson because it takes the fear away from the big question of how am I going to get unique, cool sounds into my song without pulling my hair out in sound design madness. This approach that I've developed not only takes away the fear, but it also makes the process pretty fun. And you get to kind of experiment without overthinking everything. So I'm going to give you some quick tips to making this homework as easy as possible for you. So some of these tips are going to be in the other video and also in the PDF. And some of these are just little tweaks that might make things a little bit easier. So the first thing that I recommend is exporting, an 8 to 16 bar loop of your song arrangement. And then you want to use a tool called Mixed in Key, if you have that. Or there's a free tool called Key Finder that'll work both for Mac and PC. And what this is going to do is tell you the key of your song, or it's going to spit out a number that you could look up on the Camelot wheel to find out the key of your song. That way, when you create your MIDI track, drag in your instrument, and then drag in a scale tool, which is a MIDI tool in your browser, you're going to know exactly what key to put that scale in so that everything you do will fit within the boundaries of your song's key. There's other ways that I discuss to figure out the key of your song to work in, and you can use that as well, and that's in the PDF and I believe the video. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is create an audio track, and you're going to set the audio in of that audio track to the MIDI track with the instrument that you're going to be using to create your sound palette. Once you set that up, monitor is going to go to off, and you want to leave it there because you're going to be hearing your sound on your MIDI track, so you don't need to double that up. So once you've set the audio in on your audio track, you're going to want to arm both the MIDI track and the audio track. And by default, when you click on one and then the other, it's going to erase the other one. So what you need to do is hold down the command key if you're using a Mac, or hold down the control key if you're using a PC, while you click to arm the track, and then you can arm multiple tracks. Once the tracks are armed, then you could go ahead and hit the record button at the top and start playing through your presets and tweaking them, and just don't overthink it, just have fun with it, right? And what I would do is I would hit record at the very beginning of the song. That way, for the first 6-ish minutes, you could play along with your song and maybe get some things that might rhythmically fit with your song. And then after your song ends, you could kind of free form from there. And what I would do is anytime I get bored with tweaking a particular preset, I just drag another preset in and then tweak something all new. So I just kind of allow it to be random. And if you have a synthesizer that has a random function, that can be really, really cool as well for creating interesting sounds. So I'd carry on with that for a good 20 to 30 minutes of just experimenting and not really having too many direct ideas in your head. And I also wouldn't add any extra effects, reverbs, delays, and things like that. You'll get a lot more mileage out of sounds that are dry, and then you could add effects later after you cut them up. Then once your sounds are cut up, what I would do is create new audio tracks to kind of drag those separate parts to. And this way you could individually add effects to the parts that you like. And I would mute the track that has all of the samples and just solo it whenever you need to hear the different sounds. That way you're not listening to all these random sounds in the context of your song. You're actually able to place the sounds where you want them on a different track. But for this homework, just take a quick screenshot of your cut up samples and you're good to go for today. So I hope you get a lot of mileage out of this lesson, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.